Sometimes. You gotta make sure that we don't
Everything
both
in balance is all things should be.
Yes, that is a quote from
a
champion in the game. Surely.
I mean, probably, yeah. I mean, do you know what else is a quote? I mean, there's also like coward. You know, I found out the German word for cowards.
What is it?
The other day, Feigling.
Is that what he shouts out when he
I don't know whether it's whether it's Feiglinger.
Okay.
But if someone can confirm whether he says that in German, confirm. Thank you, Lena, again. Confirm. That's wonderful. Great. I hope that's made your day better. It's made my day better.
Well, you remember, I mean, I played in Chinese solo queue for 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
And I always laugh because, I mean, I didn't know what I expected with Chinese Twitch, but when he always popped out and said, ni hao, like, I just, yeah, every time I was like, oh, that's right. That's right.
I really love it on the D&D skin as well, where everything's just pitch shifted a couple of octaves up. Yeah. We do have Nico clones flying around the rift a little bit more again. Things go, this is actually a big point. I should probably mention this too. If you're playing, we talked about mid lane turret in the first couple of games. Everyone knows mid lane's important. It's even more important against Blitzcrank, because now suddenly you've got much more access to walk into these kind of avenues, and out of Fog of War, a hook that can just one-shot you, it can just fly out of there. What that means is that Vitality will have to drop more jungle camps, they'll have to drop more waves if they're not confident in farming all 5 of them as well. And right here, this is terrifying. Right? Yeah, there's a chance of a hook going like this.
Pulls him in. A nice pick. Nucko pops the ulti. He's surviving for now. Pop Blossom, though. The flash disengaged. 1-1-3 not caught out. But Kazi flies through the map. Nicely pressed Vitality. I thought they were caught, but Nucko is harder to kill.
Yeah, that was a fish that they couldn't land. Get the Nucko on the hook, but they can't get a kill out of it. They lose one instead. Linz is potentially looking for something now.
Irrelevant with the dominance. The hook lands again onto Niski. The first target secured. Irrelevant ran in to get the kill, but he's getting chased by Kazi. He can't deal with the fire. Chayak looking for this front to back, this newfound love of a fight. He won't find anything more. Paris is waiting for another hook follow-up, but Vitality, there's not even a dragon there. They were just looking for the pick. They responded well.
I mean, Niski had already used his ultimate. It's not the worst thing to lose in there, I suppose, if you're going to lose anyone. Kazi picks up a kill. He's very happy with that one. And it's going to close some of that gold gap with that Varus. And yeah, this is the difficulty of playing against the Blitzcrank. You lose that mid lane turret, you lose a lot of damage in that Fog of War, but you do bring him into melee range, and he does get a lot of healing with that ultimate. Even through that Ignite, he heals an absurd amount. Gets to survive. Kazi gets to come through with some of the plasma, even though the Nico doesn't get that much value. After this, you have used some of your bigger tools. Kazi has double buffs, importantly, from this, and he's just kind of railing through the enemy front line. And I think BDS just couldn't close down the carries that they thought they could.
And Kazi got a big shutdown from that as well. BDS cheering because the goal that was sitting on 1-1-3, or rather Vitality up, this goal that was sitting on that Nidalee has been transferred ever so slightly. Third item on the way, Kazi to watch. Here in this game that is building bridges to our mid-game interest. As Dragon spawns in 25.
I just realized why he took so much damage. That's an Edge of Night. I hadn't tracked my Renekton builds. I didn't think they built different stuff nowadays.
I don't remember the last Edge of Night Renekton I've seen.
Yep, me neither. It's been a while since we've seen that one come out. Both of them have the Shojin, which gives them some HP. Nuke will, again, get paid. Yay, bricks. He loves those things. Yeah, Atkan started up though on BDS. Let's see if they can land some skill shots.
Niski's hovering over the wall. It's all about that Pop Blossom. You're right, no flash available. Paris is looking for an angle as Nucko's found one onto Irrelevant. Irrelevant has just been tagged into the Dominus. Nucko's done his job, but now Vitality have to do their steal. BDS have got an option. They've got to revive. But Kazi on top of Nuke. It's all about how the 5v5. Look at Chayak as well, spreading the love, spreading the demons, and inside at night, he cries and claws because Chayak, chasing down Ice, is ready to relive his past. A death, a death, a death. Everybody loses the Atkan. A steal, but Vitality wipe them all.
It's just less gold going over. It means that they're not around for the Dragon. No, this is without your big Niski Nico ultimate. Again, you don't have that flash really available. Not the biggest. I suppose this time he actually does lock up some here. The big thing here, though, is that Nucko gets the spell shield off of Ice, gets a load of HP. Nucko gets so much value here. That 3-man queue at the end, I think, is what really turns the table in terms of the HP. While all that's happening, Kazi is isolated in his own kind of assassin duels as well. Really, shout out towards that Aatrox, though.
It's just 50-50, you know? Life happens. Any sums?
Okay, Kazi wasn't happy about the 50-50, but whatever, we digress. And
he just looks to his right and says, that's a 0 for Nico, friend. Maybe we need to put them back into the therapy chair with
maybe we do. Kaz is going to have to vent a little bit more, but for Vitality, they've wiped off all the Atakan. So as far as I'm concerned, even. Yes, Atakan, you know, it still happened, but even though I see gold leads for BDS, I'm seeing Vitality starting to win fights again. It's deja vu for game one as Paris is caught out. He flashes away Pop Blossom. It catches the edge of ice with the Tangle Barbs as well. Niski's done his job. It's all about rolls as NuckNucko. His dive almost successful. Irrelevant with the dominance. He loses his edge of night. Re-engage for NuckNucko, but Linsis is frontlining. He pops the ulti. Kazi reposition onto Irrelevant, carrying the fight almost. Most Irrelevant gets out here. TP to rejoin. Remember, it's about Baron. A pick-off enables the start.
That Renekton is very squishy. Was a little bit worried about his positioning when he went for that first play into it. And Kazi very nearly finishes him off. Doesn't want to commit that flash thing, obviously so. Both these AD carries, very, very threatening. There's only literally 1 gold between them as it stands. Ice, great disengage. Kazi very nearly turns it around. See that? Neither of these teams have a huge margin of error. This time, Niski actually does land a big ulti. Manages to get that cleanse out of ice. Even with that Edge of Night, quite hard for him to survive. Of course, Proto Belt, one of the best tools in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's Rocket Belt. It's been many years.
Same thing, who cares? I still call it Tarby. I still call it Gravity Field. I don't know. Bro, I'm going to start using Wriggle's Lantern for jungle items at this point. Even though we don't have jungle items.
Bring back that Fire Garas.
Yeah.
The clone going into that too. So, Baron up and available. A little while till we have that dragon, 2 dragons apiece, so no soul points. BDS, you know, they do have a gold lead. Part of it is on a Nidalee, which doesn't, it's not as consistent use of that gold, but we have to mention it anyway, just in case those spears do land, and they start to really, really hurt. BDS, have vision control, trying to catch Niski.
Oh, caught him midway in the air, doesn't know, it doesn't care, Paris. Beautiful stuff. BDS now with an option in front of Baron.
Nico is fragile. One of the best supports in the game if you can play around the big engage and the big lane potential. I don't think Niski's been able to do that. I think he's been punished an awful lot, and Paris has had a great game on the Blitzcrank, a champion he used to win Emir Masters before, and now Baron started up without that Nico engage.
And to Tristana, remember as well, even though Ice has lethality, all it takes is about 10 seconds. Watch it now, Nuke with IE, I'm pretty sure. It's just going to go down. Baron there, Paris does it again, a great hook onto Chayak, stunned up, but he can play the fight. Irrelevant gets out before he loses Baron, but this is an option for BDS. Watch Nuke yet again onto Linsis, who doesn't land anything, rooted up. No, the ulti, Nuke slice saved by his own device. Pop Blossom comes in, hits nothing. Watch Nuke yet again onto Linsis, who doesn't land anything, rooted up. This is an option for BDS. Watch Nuke yet again onto Linsis, who doesn't land anything, rooted up. No, the ulti, Nuke slice saved by his own device. Pop Blossom comes in, hits nothing. Ice now gets the hit. NuckNucko's pulled in, the flash away. BDS this fight so close to go.
Nico also so close to getting. Great hook out of the bush. I mean, it gets onto one of your damage carries. There is a lot to break down in the micro here. I think the Crescent Guard gets a ridiculous amount of value. Nuke still gets to jump forwards, though. This is the key moment. I thought that Nuke was going to get absolutely blasted. I thought that NuckNucko jump forwards, though. This is the key moment. I thought that Nuke was going to get absolutely blasted. I thought that NuckNucko was going to be able to pop off. And the Buster Shot completely changes the tone of the fight. If that Q goes cleanly onto that Tristana, I think NuckNucko cleans up. He's had a great set of team fights on the Aatrox. I think he's done very well with it. Very, very nearly gets the carry.
Niski, though, face checking again. That's not good because Nuke is just here. Niski's dead. There's a reset as well. Nuke can get on out. Teleport burn for BDS, but
I don't think
he's the hook.
The hook hitter.
Yeah.
Hook sniper.
I almost said something different. He's the hook man, okay?
Sounds like it's always so
It's always so close, isn't it? Soul point. In that last fight, I've got to give credit to NuckNucko. You know, he's such a pain on this Aatrox. Twice today we've seen great team fighting Aatroxes so caught in the moment of Nuke Soul, of Ice only just surviving. of making it so difficult. You said it was an even trade, it was. But Baron's still there. There's still a 2k gold lead. Ice needs to be careful. Realm Ward's going to be used. He's got the Edge of Night. That'll buy him some time, but he's rooted up there to become quite lightning, rather. The dive is there. ISO gets damaged down as Kazi fighting from the right-hand side, but here comes Nuke again. They're still diving a mid-tier 1 turret at 30 minutes. Nuke doesn't get the reset. Explosive charge down. This 3.5 item Tristana is cleaning up, and Vitality can't stick around.
Vitality try and look for a snap play, call the bluff and try and get rid of some of the buffs. Nuke still has it though, and he's just really strong. Really strong. That Infinity Edge shreds through the team of Vitality as they dive too deep. BDS still have power on the side lanes to take down an inner turret and top lane. And BDS with a 6,000 gold lead. There it is.
Boom, boom, that turret's dead.
It's just gone. Vitality in such an important game for them. Reminder, at 2 and 3. If they slide to 2 and 4, things get rough for them. They do get rough for them in terms of their playoff chances afterwards. Niski doesn't get into the realm of in time. Mistimed, presumably from JDG there, I suppose. If you had that Nico ult coming through, which we said is one of the creative engages you can have, does it change anything? I have to say, actually, I think all it does is get Niski killed. Not sure it really changes that much, especially with the tower firing at them, but still, not what they wanted, I don't think.
Man, quick reminder, again, we talked about it before, like against G2, this is just how well Nuke did. Today, I'm sure we'll have a recall in our next BDS game and how well he did in this series, but he's stepping up to the plate big. 1-1-3 on this Nidalee as well. 3k gold lead needs to be mentioned. So mid-jungle. And I feel like I said that last game as well, mid-jungle did really well. Irrelevance had a better day, like Irrelevance getting back to his old ways of having really impactful team fighting. You know, and Ice and Paris, what a day they've had. What a series this has been. And, you know, we might not be in Madrid. Shout out to Shox, who's stranded there. And with
they might just say that now. I mean, good luck getting out of it.
I guess at least he's going to Madrid permanently, because Shox, if she's stuck there, yeah, we got to go to Shox. We got to go to GB, we got to go to Jack. Shout out for keeping it strong. I don't know what's going over there, but
no problem.
No, I will learn. But I had a point about this. The games this weekend have been mega hype. Today, not too bad actually. You know, this Vitality BDS series has started warming up game by game by game.
I mean, I look through grand majority of our matches happening in the LEC, and there's something which keeps me in my seat. There's something which keeps me watching these. And, you know, we have two teams here which, yes, they are going to flub some engages every now and again. They are under pressure, and they haven't figured out everything to go right with their team so far, but they are making things eventful. I think that both of these teams have found ways to make plays, to push the pace of the game further forward. I think they've tried to seal themselves into some identities. Vitality, I mean, credit to them, they have cooked. Now, there might be smoke coming out of the kitchen, but they have cooked something. And BDS, I mean, they've fallen back on a little bit of comfort now in this game 3, playing one around that double poke. Nuke on something like that, Tristana has always been, it has been something which has been very powerful for him in recent years.
I mean, Nuke is, and will continue to be, the star of this team that keeps on shining for BDS. How do they enable him? 4 items on this Tristana. Navoric quick blades means that E is permanently off a cooldown. If he stays in a side wave, they lose the base. That's the threat now with 6 grubs. That's what BDS can play towards, because look, Baron's up in 30 seconds. Nuke stays on top even despite having the teleport. Dragon's up a little bit after that as well. BDS are leveraging how much vision they have, how much control they have of enemy jungle right now. With Vitality to step in, need some kind of a monster engage.
These spears are scaring the heck out of me.
They are.
They are pixels off of Blue Man in the mid lane. And unlike the percussive group, I don't think this is a sold-out show if he gets hit for that one. It'll just be towards the Morg instead. Minutes all that Dragon is just saying. Fighting over the mid lane push, obviously very important. BDS, they can just play it slow, look for the extra cooldowns. That scares me, man. It scares me.
I mean, that's a rise with HP as well. 1-1-3, like we said, it's just a matter about scaling in this game. Where's the frontline tank? Who can keep face checking? It's going to be Nucko for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Linzes flashes in, but he's all sent away. That's Nuke's ulti, but finally, Nesquik, not just a good-looking drink. He looks freaking amazing on Nico as well. Nucko chasing 1-1-3, trying to predict the remnants of the fight. All it took was one from Vitality, and it finally came due.
When they needed it the most, the Nico lands the ult. Those 6 deaths, just forget about them. Vitality might have just gotten what it takes to crack open the game.
Look at the death time. It's 40 seconds, 30 seconds. Maybe it is. I mean, Screw the grubs. They've got enough damage between the 5 of them. It's a wipe. Realm Warp in as well. Paris, he ain't sleeping well tonight. BDS had this game, but from mid lane to support, his one moment in the sun shows up big vitality. 3 and 3, knocking the smile off BDS's face.
When they needed him most, Niski answered. It was a rough game. I'm not going to put that in the Hall of Fame for Nico support, but it did exactly what it needed to at that last possible moment. It felt like it was so hard to close it out.
I'm looking at Pat on stage, shaking his hand.
Yeah, us too.
They jumped on Niski. I mean, look, big shout out. Port!
Go land!
It's going to be Knucknucker for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean to. In this game, where's the frontline tank? Who can keep base checking? It's going to be Knucknucker. 1-1-3, like we said, it's a matter about scaling in this game. Where's the frontline tank? Who can keep base checking? It's going to be Knucknucker for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean scaling in this game. Where's the frontline tank? Who can keep base checking? It's going to be Knucknucker for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean scaling in this game. Where's the frontline tank? Who can keep base checking? It's going to be Knucknucker for now. It's a matter about scaling in this game. Where's the frontline tank? Who can keep base checking? It's going to be Knucknucker for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses. Where's the frontline? I mean, that's a rise with HP as well. 1-1-3, like we said, it's a matter about scaling in this game. Where's the frontline tank? Who can keep base checking? It's going to be Knucknucker for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Linzes flashes in, but he's all sent away. The future ulti, but loses his passive. Who can keep base checking? It's going to be Knucknucker for now. Said it's a matter about scaling in this game. Where's the frontline tank? Who can keep base checking? It's going to be Knucknucker for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Linzes flashes in, but he's Knucknucker for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Linzes flashes in, but he's Knucknucker for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Linzes flashes in, but he's sent away. The future ulti, but finally Nesquik, not just a good looking away the future ulti, but much. He loses his passive. Linzes flashes in, but he's sent away the future ulti, but much. He loses his passive. Linzes flashes in, but he's sent away. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Keep base checking. It's going to be Knucknucker for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Linzes flashes in, but he's for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Linzes flashes in, but he's sent away the future ulti, but he loses his passive. Linzes flashes in, but he's now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Linzes flashes in, but he's sent away the future ulti, but finally Nesquik flashes in, but he's sent away the future ulti. Too much. He loses his passive. Linzes flashes in, but he's sent away the from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Linzes flashes in, but he's sent away the future ulti, but finally Nesquik, not just a good looking drink. Ulti, but he loses his passive. Linzes flashes in. Going to be Knucknucker for now.
That scares me, man. It scares me.
I mean, that's a right.
Morgan stat minutes, all that Dragon as you're saying. Fighting over the mid lane push, obviously very important. BDS, they can just play it slow, look for the extra cooldowns. That scares me, man. It scares me.
I mean, that's a rise with HP as well. 1-1-3.
That scares me, man. It scares me.
I mean, that's a rise with HP as well. 1-1-3, like we said, it's a matter about scaling in this game. Where's the frontline tank? Who can keep base checking? It's going to be Knucknucker for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Linzes flashes. It's going to be Knucknucker for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Linzes flashes in, but he's sent away. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Linzes flashes in, but he's sent away. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Linzes flashes in, but he's sent away. From Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses. It's the frontline tank. Who can keep base checking? It's going to be Knucknucker for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses. It's the frontline tank. Who can keep base checking? It's going to be Knucknucker for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He Where's the frontline tank? Who can keep face checking? It's going to be Nucko for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses the frontline tank. Who can keep face checking? It's going to be Nucko for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Lindsay flashes in, but he's all sent away. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Keep face checking. It's going to be Nucko for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Face checking. It's going to be Nucko for now. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Lindsay flashes in, but he's all sent. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Lindsay flashes in, but he's all sent away. Poke from Ice doesn't mean too much. He loses his passive. Lindsay flashes in, but he's all sent away. That's Nuke's ultimate. He loses his passive. Lindsay flashes in, but he's all sent away. That's Nuke's ultimate. He loses his passive. Lindsay flashes in, but he's all sent away. That's Nuke's ultimate. His passive. Lindsay flashes in, but he's all sent away. That's Nuke's ultimate. Finally, Nesquik, not just a good-looking drink. He looks freaking amazing on Nico as well. Nucko chasing 1-1-3, trying to predict the remnants of the fight. All it took was one from Vitality, and it finally came due.
When they needed it the most, the Nico lands the ult. Those 6 studs, just forget about them. Vitality might have just gotten what it takes to crack open the game.
Look at the death time. It's 40 seconds, 30 seconds. Maybe it is. I mean, screw the grubs. They've got enough damage between the 5 of them. It's a wipe. Realm Warp in as well. Paris, he ain't sleeping well tonight. BDS had this game, but
How?
from mid lane to support.
Is your lifespan as well?
I mean, actually today I felt like it was the first day where I was kind of running it.
That's true.
First day,
But-
huh? Yeah.
At least,
Come on.
I'm sorry.
I mean, first day I was running it, you know. But I feel like we stayed in, like mentally at least. I think, for example, for game 1, when they're playing like Seraphine Ashe. And then,
That's
like,
annoying.
yeah, and then
That's
I'm like, I
that
just have
was
to get
painful.
through lane and we'll probably win. But lane, it's like very
Yeah,
annoying.
you didn't get through that lane.
And then that lane looked rough, yeah, when I flashed in. But I mean, yeah, we came back. I mean, I did one good flash and then we kind of won the game. That's
Yeah.
usually how these matchups go, right? So.
How do you feel like it's been the transition? Because I don't feel like we've heard from you enough. Because it always feels like, you know, going to mid game and stuff like this, it's obviously a lot of the strengths that you had from coming from mid lane, reading the map, you know, picking good fights and stuff like this. Everything is good there, but it feels like the roughest part of your game has been like, you know, the first 10 minutes of the laning phase. You're kind of locked, you know, you don't really know the matchups because there's a lot of like random matchups. How
Stop
has,
roasting him like this.
I've been diplomatic. As I mean, me and Niski go way back. I could just like, you know,
Fair enough.
rip it a lot harder, you know. But
Alright.
okay, Niski, you sucked in lane. How do you get better at lane so far? How does it work?
Legit question, actually.
I mean,
It's her fault.
to be fair, lane is kind of hard, to be fair, because there's like too many combos. And then today, for example, I played against like Seraphine and Seraphine Ashe, like first time I play against it, for example, right?
Yeah,
or
that's
like
crazy.
supports that play for 10 years, they know it, probably. I don't know when I can go, I don't know when I can get chased, like can I combo in, do I just die? And yeah, I think that's like the hardest part. I would say also, I think on stage, like the lanes are way different than in scrims. I feel like in scrims, we survive those lanes. Maybe on stage it's actually harder than in scrims. But I think, yeah, we kind of get through lane with Cards right now. I mean, I know he likes to win lane, but I told him, like, I mean, I don't think we're going to win like every lane right now, because like I just came to the support role. And yeah, I mean, I also talked with Pad, and he believes that like at the end of the split, I should be fine in lane, and then he would be happy with that. But I think, yeah, right now I still need time for the laning phase at least. And yeah, I'm working on it.
What do you feel like you got better at since playing support?
I think playing for tempo,
Uh-huh.
I think I did overstay a lot in the first weeks. I think now once a play is gone, I just space, and then like I open the other side and whatever. I also think I don't really die for fun as often as I did in the first weeks. And then yeah, I think just generally in the mid game, I think I'm usually on the right side of the map, which is nice, I would say, to have a support that knows what they're supposed to be. And I think just knowing what like enemies do, I think that's something I did a lot when I was a mid laner, and I feel like I implemented that this week as well, and I feel like it makes my life easier because I know what they're gonna do, and then I know what I'm supposed to do as well. So yeah, just mid game, I would say.
I'm curious a little bit, because yeah, you had this transition from mid to support. Obviously, I don't really know how much you're planning on staying support for. Do you feel like there's been any big thing that you realize that maybe potentially going in the future when you go back to mid lane is going to elevate your game? And if so, what would that be?
I would say it's mostly about like the early game. I actually thought that like supports can kind of go mid whenever they want. I mean, it felt like it when we played against like G2, for example, when they had like Caps Mickey. I felt like Mickey could be there on like any wave. But actually, like moving to mid is kind of hard as support. Your AD gets a bit behind, or like you lose some tempo and whatnot. And if it doesn't work, like your lane is lost on
you're
bot.
behind XP and
Yeah, it's
everything.
like you need XP, you need your stacks. Like there's a lot of these things that I didn't know before. And yeah, now I feel like I'm getting I get way more knowledge, I guess, of the game as well. And yeah, I think if I would go back to mid, yeah, for sure, I think what I'm learning now would help me as well.
You got Kia Player of the Series today. Congratulations. You know, it's so bad because Carzy was like, oh, Ginny was like, well, I don't know. You're laughing as well. I think it's deserved because you got the engage that won you guys the game.
Game one as well.
Yeah.
I did
You
get the
did good.
engages. That one was the game, like...
The thing is, I'm
Stop bullying
laughing.
Niski.
No, I'm laughing because it's just, I know the people at home, the chattermen who are all chatting
is
there,
true.
pressing the button to vote Niski, they're all so passive-aggressive. And I know that they're doing it to half bully him or not, but this engage was...
That was amazing, though.
Was crazy. Who cares that you were like 0-6 or
I
something?
didn't, like, my team, like, every time I was dying, I swear, like, I could feel it in their eyes, like, what is this guy doing with his Nico, you know?
Is it also the silence, you know, where you like die and no one says
Yeah,
anything?
I'm dead, and I'm like, guys, it's fine, I'm up in 15. Like, no one says, it's okay, like...
It's fine, there's no timing, there's no Drake.
Yeah,
Just die
but,
for fun.
yeah, I mean, hard Nico game, I would say. I don't know, I wanted to test it, but...
To be honest,
We
it's
brought the lowlights and the highlights. That was
And
the
this one,
lowlights.
like, I didn't press protobelt, like...
because, you know, I was watching this and I'm like, surely he didn't have protobelt. And I see you use protobelt after, I'm like, oh, Niski, what are you doing? No, but the engage was crazy, and I feel like it's... Even though it's super comedy, right, because you entered a little bit, I feel like it's deserved, because even though, you know, maybe Nagnako had a great game, game 1, 2, 3, I feel like a lot of the time you're kind of the silent hero where, yeah, sure, you were behind, but especially when you're behind, it's a lot harder to find these sort of plays, right? So that's where credit is due for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you're behind a support on stage,
You're a little
I mean,
snack.
you definitely need, like, some mental, I would say. Because I think you can easily go to, like, 0-1, 0-2, 0-3, and then you don't engage, and then you kind of, like, you're kind of useless. But, like, for example, on the Alistar, said, oh, we want to dive top. I was like, sure. And then I just engaged.
I'm just going to go in.
We just killed them, and we ended the game, right?
It might be a little fresh, but now do you understand Hilly's pain?
I do, yeah. I mean, support role is not easy. I mean, in scrims, it's way easier. On stage, everyone thinks about your cooldowns, your flash and stuff. But yeah, I mean, for sure, I think it's not an easy role.
Is there any specific support players around the world that you watch VODs from or like want to take inspiration from?
I mean,
maybe?
I watch a lot of the Light, actually. I think the Light is really good.